Hi, Mark here, Managing Director of All My Systems, helping companies grow by sorting out their business systems properly. On this episode of AMS TV, I'm in a field, a plot of land, over at AMS HQ, and behind me we've got a big crater in the ground on one side and some saplings on the other. There's a nice bit of landscaping going on here, and this leads me to think about implementing a business database for your company. Now, what you have is you have your plot of land, or your system if you like, and you make sure that that is big enough and capable enough for you to grow into over time. So the first thing when implementing your system is don't try and do everything all at once. You've got the right platform such as Microsoft Dynamics 365, and you should start small and grow into it over time. Otherwise, if you try and do too much too soon, your project's probably going to be a little bit riskier and may even stand a chance of failing. So always think about what phase 2 and phase 3 might be. Then you need to have a bit of a change management plan. Where are you going to start with this? Who are you going to communicate with? How are they going to be involved? What input do they need to have on a daily basis or a weekly basis? How are you going to feed back to them, kind of reporting on the success of the project on a daily or weekly basis, and how are they going to feed into changes to the project during the life cycle of implementing the system? So if we take this scenario here, we've got this crater and it looks like it's going to be a nice little pond, which would be lovely around here. But actually what they've done here is they've built the first prototype of this system. The first prototype allows us to now see on a proper scale what this pond is going to be like. How big is it going to be? Does it fit into the context of the kind of landscape that we're looking at? And it's a chance now to refine it and maybe make it bigger or tweak it slightly before you get any further on in the development, before you fill it with water and then you've got gallons and thousands of gallons of water that you've got something to do with and it's too late. So prototypes allow you to test rapidly what you want to do with your system and change and influence it over time. So that's what we're talking about here. And I think the really key thing to make sure about with your implementation is that you factor all of these things in. You don't do too much in phase 1. You get all of the key people on board and your change management plan reflects how you're going to talk and involve them on a daily basis. You have prototypes in place to make sure that you can watch it develop over time, make any tweaks as you go along, so that over time you're kind of iterating and making sure you get a better product by the end of it, something that everybody's happy in because everyone's bought in to what you're doing and why you're doing it and even has some input. So that's it for this episode of AMS TV. It's all about implementation of your new business database and making sure that you do all of the right things to get it loaded and launched successfully within your business. That's it for this AMS TV. Bye for now.